Today's video, I want to talk about Audi's Virtual Cockpit. So a quick introduction beforehand, I just recently acquired this new car. This is an Audi S5 Sportback. It is a 2018 model and it is the Prestige trim. And of course there's lots of reasons to buy an Audi, but one of the major deciding factors for me was Audi's Virtual Cockpit, which is a full and complete digital dashboard that replaces the traditional analog speedometer and tachometer. So basically everything is digitalized on a 12.3-inch high-resolution screen. There are so many modes and customization going on this thing, so let's get a little bit closer. So let me just do a little bit more of a walk around so you guys can get a good idea of what this car looks like, just in case you're wondering. There's a lot of people that do wonder these things, and take a look at that. It's a gorgeous car, there's no question about that. One of the reasons I did buy it. But let's get a little bit closer, open up that door, and take a look at the interior and the virtual cockpit that I'm talking about. So we open the door, and as you can see, it is an absolutely gorgeous interior. And of course, in this video, I'm going to be concentrating on that virtual dashboard that you're looking at. Nothing there is analog, everything is digitalized. And of course, we have some other things going on the other side with the screen in the middle of the car, but we're not going to be talking about that. We are going to be concentrating on this digital dashboard. So let's dive in. All right, so let's move on over and take a seat inside the car. All right, fantastic. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be going over all the options that you can modify on this screen. All right, so here's the Audi's Virtual Cockpit. This is one of the main menus, and as you can see, everything here is in fact digital. And the thing over here is, if you look at the steering wheel, you'll see that there's controls on the left side and there's controls on the right side. The controls on the left side are the ones that control the virtual cockpit. So let me show you some of the basics. So for example, as you can see, there's a button here that says view. If I tap it, it can change between two different views. If I tap it again, it goes back where the speedometer is in fact in the center, and then you have two displays on either side of the speedometer and the RPM meter. And then what you could do is this screen over here just stays the way it is. However, if you go over here and if you tap these buttons, this left and right arrows, you can switch between the map view. You can see the map on the screen, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to show you one more view that's just going to blow your mind away in a couple seconds. And then this one over here, you can see all the phone numbers. Over here, what you can see is if you have any media playing, it's going to show up right here. So this is a Sirius XM, so it will actually show it right here. And if I go over here, it will show me the consumption. And then there's a button here that allows me to go and see the short-term memory, long-term memory, and energy consumers. So right now the air conditioning is running a little bit, so it's actually consuming some energy. It actually tells you that. And then you have the driver's assistance features. They would show right here if they were on or off. And right now nothing is running because the car is in a standstill. Now if I go back down over here, it actually reads and displays traffic signs. So if there was any traffic signs with the speed limits, it would show up right here. Okay, so you can scroll through this using this wheel. And this wheel is also a button you can press down. For example, the consumption, I can press and hold, and it will reset the consumption of the car. The other thing is, as you can see on the right side, there's another screen here. It says date and time. Even that is customizable. So if you again look over here, you see that there are two buttons. There's one button over here and one button over here. You can tap these buttons, and that brings up different screens you can put on either side of the cockpit. So let me go back here. So that's the consumption meter. If I tap this button, I can actually switch to lap times. So now I have the lap time screen, and I can scroll through different screens when they're available. If I tap it again, I can go to lap statistics, which is also right here. And then I can tap this again, and I can go to the layout. We changed the layout of the car. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Let's go back to the trip computer, keep it right there. So that's for that side of the screen. So if I want to control the right side of the screen, I tap this button, not the OK button. The OK button is the wheel. Okay, if you press on the wheel, that's OK. If I tap this button here, it says additional display. I can tap that, and that allows me to pick from these different modes. So I can do this I can pick these 4 modes on the other side. I like to see the date and time at all times, so I keep it on date and time. Okay, but as you can see, everything is so customizable on this screen. Now one more thing, let's tap on this view button. We change the view of the screen. Now as you can see, you have a much different view, but now you have your speedometer right here. You've got the RPM meter over there on the left side. And again, using these buttons, you can actually change the display again. All right, so look at this. If I tap this, it takes me to the media player. And again, if I tap this button here, it gives me some options. All right, I can switch to FM, AM, presets or whatever. Let me go back. Now, if I go one more time, this time you're going to see my phone directory. And if I go one more time, this is the most amazing view. Now, this is the full dashboard maps view, completely digital. And it's all based on Google Maps, Google Earth, I mean. So this is actually Google Earth, the same one you would see on your computer screen, not as detailed, but pretty damn good, as you can see from the screen. I can zoom in and see the entire world. So let's do that right now. So I can zoom in or I can zoom out with this wheel. Take a look at that. I can literally see the entire world, and everything runs nice and smooth. Okay, so let's come back right in. Let me zoom back in. That's absolutely amazing. You can go to anywhere in the world. Not that that's going to happen, but if I were to go to Canada, just stick to the North American continent, it would be perfectly working everywhere. Okay, so look at that beautiful view. Now that's Google Earth. And again, this thing is so customizable. I could always go in here and I can change the style of the map. So either one of these buttons. So I can change the map colors, map display, map orientation, and I can also do automatic zoom if I so desire. But this is one of my favorite views of the car. But that's not everything. So when you tap the view, it switches back and forth. As you can see, the map carries over there. You can again switch back and forth. But this is not a traditional view. With the thing in the center, it looks more like a sports car, and this is in fact a sports car. And then if you do this, it gives you the traditional look, but the dials, the speedometer and the RPM meter are too small to enjoy sometimes. So what you could do is when I go back to this mode, and if I tap this button here, not that button, I'm sorry, and if I go over here to this screen, I can tap this and I can go down to layout. If I tap on layout, I can choose between the sports layout, which I have right now, or the classic layout. So the classic layout is going to look something like that. Okay, so let's click on it and just say yes. It's going to take a couple seconds to load. And as you can see now, we have the classic layout. All right, let me go back over here. So again, I can choose from any one of these guys. You have the trip computer right here. I can scroll through again. So as you can see, you have the media, you've got the phone directory, and also the maps again can be seen right here. All right, so that's basically a quick overview of the Audi Virtual Cockpit. And this right here on the left is the controls for the Virtual Cockpit. These are controls for your phone, for your media, and all that good stuff. You can access navigation. If you tap this button, it allows you to, you can customize this button. It's customizable, so you can assign certain functions to this button, but we're not going to go over that. Mostly I wanted you guys to see the Audi Virtual Cockpit's interface and how much techy it is. Now if I tap view one more time here, it gives me that smaller view. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed some car tech featuring Audi's Virtual Cockpit, which, like I said, was one of the main reasons I ended up buying this car, on top of its superior styling. And of course, Audis are extremely precise driving machines that are very comfortable, but with a tap of a few buttons can become very loud and very aggressive if you end up getting one of the S models. And this is an S model. It is an Audi S5 Sportback 2018. And that basically brings us to the end of this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, just drop them down below.